Welcome back. Watch till the end of this video to find out what eating whole foods really means and what exactly is meant by refined and processed foods. Thanks for watching to my returning viewers, and if you're new here, subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post new videos. I make videos about holistic and healthy topics with a new direction of health and nutrition, and sometimes, if you're lucky, a Islamic twist on it. As a wife and homeschooling mom of 3 kids, I've struggled for many years to unlearn a lot of health habits. However, eventually I went on to become a certified culinary nutrition expert. I've held workshops and even created an online course to help you take control over your diet and eat healthy for life. If you live in a developed country like I do here in Canada, then you know that we live in excess. Excess amounts of clothes to the points that our closets are exploding of clothes. Excess amounts of entertainment to the point where we have endless amounts of movies to scroll through for hours before we pick something to watch, and endless amounts of foods to the point where our pantries and fridges are full of food, even the shelves at stores. But the irony here is that despite living in excess, we are deficient. For many reasons we're deficient, but specifically today I'm going to be talking about being deficient in minerals and nutrients due to the food that we eat. Deficient means something is lacking or defective of elements or qualities, and in this case, when we're talking about food, it means foods that is deficient or lacking in nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. Now, most of the time when food is lacking of something like that, it's because it has been processed or refined. Now, the process in processed food is actually something that strips away the food and strips away its important elements that carries all these nutrients. So what you're left with is really just a bunch of nothingness. What food companies do to compensate for that, in order for us to want to buy it and to want to actually consume it and like it and be returning customers, is they compensate. So they'll make it texturally appealing by making it extremely crispy and fluffy by synthetic additives. They will add different flavors to it, like a perfect combination of salt, sugar, and fat to make it really addicting and tasteful. And they will even manipulate our other senses, like making it visually appealing by adding artificial colors and stuff like that. So processed foods means that something that has gone through any type of process. It can be on a range from being really lightly processed, like a bag of carrots that has been washed and bagged, or it can be ultra processed, like a bag of chips or hot dogs. Refined is also a process. So refined means that you're being stripped away of something. So it's just making it less of something, right? When you're refining something. So for example, sugar. White sugar is definitely processed. So you take the sugar cane, you crush it up, you heat it up, and then eventually you filter out the crystals, right? And total side note, what they filter out is actually blackstrap molasses, and this is so healthy for you. It contains so many minerals. A way to use it is you can throw it into beef-based recipes. So if you're doing like a beef marinara or like a beef stew, add a couple of spoons in that, and I promise me, you'll thank me later. But anyways, so that's what white refined sugar is like. But another example is actually white rice. So obviously rice is actually processed as well because it doesn't grow as little pieces of rice. You actually got to take the grain and you got to remove the husk. But the more you remove, the more refined it becomes, and actually the more white it becomes. So in a lot of cultures, they actually use the full bran on the rice, which is brown rice. Some of it has a medium beige type of rice, and some of us use white rice. Now, again, when you are removing and refining that rice, you are literally removing all the nutrients that contain protein, fiber, and minerals, and you're left with, again, a bunch of nothingness. Recent studies have shown that the actual bran on unrefined brown rice actually have a huge impact on lowering your blood sugar levels. That's why when you have refined white rice, which is further processed because it's been refined of the bran, it actually increases and spikes your blood sugar levels. And when you spike your blood sugar levels, there is a huge domino effect on your health. If you want me to make a video about this, just comment below with blood sugar spike levels. Going back to the brown rice, there have been so many studies about this. It's actually one of the most nutrient-dense food that has been studied, with over 70 antioxidants that's found just in the bran of a rice. Now, antioxidants help with your body by fighting oxidative stress, which basically helps you look and stay younger. So my question to you now is, do you eat whole foods simply to get a lot of fiber? I hope by now you can say no. It's to get all the nutrients and vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and phytonutrients in your body together to work synergistically to give your body the best results and to boost your immune system. This is very different than having a capsule, for example, of a single mineral that has been carefully stripped away from its food. When you eat food together and you allow all the components to work together, it actually has a much stronger impact on your body than it by itself, because they actually need each other. Now, if you're wondering, how in the world did we get here? How do we get to a point where we as consumers intentionally go to the store to buy these ultra processed and refined foods? And how in the world do most, if not all, the shelves in stores intentionally fill their shelves with processed and refined foods? Well, the answer is simple. It tastes better. We as consumers have gotten so addicted to it that we demand more of it. Therefore, they've made more for us. And also another reason is that it's cheaper. It's obviously much cheaper for food producers to find the leftover refined ingredients and throw all of those together to make something for us, and much cheaper for us to buy than it is, for example, for us to buy a cookie that's made with whole ingredients, with sprouted whole flour, with grass-fed butter, with whole milk, with unrefined sugar, versus, say, buying a Oreo cookie. Now, I use quotes because I don't really consider Oreo to be real food. And if you are addicted to it and you love it so much, just know that it's really not because they're using whole ingredients and natural ingredients. It tastes better and it's much cheaper for a reason. Keep that in mind. My online course, Fuel with Food, actually makes you an expert on how to differentiate between whole and refined processed ingredients, and an expert on substituting these ingredients with whole foods. Check out the description to find out if you qualify. Now, going back to being deficient. If you eat food that is deficient and you're left with being deficient, what happens? It causes problems in your body. Now, I know a lot of you will say, but Mona, I have been eating unhealthy, unrefined, ultra-processed foods my whole life, and I'm totally healthy. But what you don't realize is that it takes years of your body fighting for its life to equalize the deficiencies in its body for it to finally give up and be outnumbered. At this point, your body starts to experience symptoms, things like high blood sugar levels, acne, extreme gut issues, even heart disease, and many other preventative illness and chronic diseases. If your body is experiencing physical symptoms, just know that the message that it's sending you is in exclamation marks. It is literally crying for help. It is not at the beginning of its journey. It is at its wit's end and it is asking and begging you for help. It only starts to become symptomatic when it has accumulated in your body. So don't think that just because you feel perfectly fine and you're physically healthy, that you can continue eating on a refined, ultra-processed diet. And not to mention the effects that it has on your soul when you eat this way, which I talk more about in this video. And I hope this all makes sense to you, and I hope you're able to learn and apply a thing or two today that can help avoid or decrease the amount of refined and processed foods in your diet, and maybe even replace it with a whole food. If you liked and learned something new from this video, then please like and comment below and let me know what you'd like to see next. Thank you for watching.